Randy Rain here, and I have these two robots from Horikama, a Japanese company, but these were made in Taiwan. At least that's what it says. And these are from the 70s? Maybe. And probably this one. I'm not so sure about this one. I'll explain. This is
Randy's Robot Refurbished!
Okay, I got this robot when I bought my first Tomy Karate Bot. They came in a pair on eBay, and it was going for dirt cheap, and so I bought them, and they were in pretty bad condition, and I've already done the Tomy Karate Bot, and now I'm going to do this one. And this one is supposedly from the 70s, and I believe that it is, and I'll show you why. But then it's missing the antennas on here, and so I found this one. This one looks like it's never been used ever. It also came in this box right here that's called Mr. Robot. And it says made in Hong Kong on the box. But then of course it says made in Taiwan on here, but so does this one. Now these molds are injection molds, and they're made out of steel, and so when they were made back in the 70s, those molds probably still exist to this day. And so somebody has them, and I think that this one is a later run, maybe even into the 90s of this robot, and this is not a vintage one, and I'll show you why. But I'm going to use it to recreate the antennas for this one, because this one is a original one. So let me open these up and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I'm going to start with the older one. This one has been attacked by a Sharpie, as you can see. I've already got a lot of it off, but there's still some. And it has its broken antennas, and if you can see that this arm is bent in a little bit like that. It might not affect it in any way, but I'm going to try to see about that. And of course it doesn't work. So there's 4 screws on the back. Now you can see why I believe this one came out in the 70s. There's a lot of metal gears in here. They're not all metal. Actually, where it starts off, you can see that the gear on the motor is plastic. This one's plastic and this one's plastic. But then all of a sudden it turns into these metal gears. You even have a metal angle gear in here. And if you see this piece right here, this piece right here is for the safety when you twist it. So if it gets forced, you can see how it allows it to turn, but it's also strong enough for it to do its thing. It's kind of a little clutch system. You can see here, spring loaded. You can see it's just basically little bumps going into holes. But it's metal. Remember that. Alright, so let me take this one apart, which works. See? You see it works. You can see how clean it is. Not a scratch on it. And even look inside the battery compartment there. The sticker is even in perfect condition in there. Like there's never been batteries in this thing at all until I put them in. So again, 4 screws. Now have a look at this one. Everything is plastic. And it even has that same little clutch, but it's plastic now. So that's why I don't think this one is that old. But anyway, put this aside. I'm going to need this piece to recreate these antennas. But first let's go back to this one and take it apart and get a closer look and clean it all up and make it work. Because I'm pretty sure the only thing that's going to be wrong with this thing is either the corroded battery terminals or the motor is gummed up. There you go. Ah, yeah, it's hair from the 70s. There's also a metal gear down here as well in this bump and go action. Don't see that often. Now I'm going to desolder all the wires so it'll be easier to work with. Looks like it's bent right there. Okay, that's better. Let's see if the motor works. Yeah, it works. Except this gear just supposed to slide right off. I'm betting it's split. Yep, it's split. But I have that gear. My gear has this little ledge on the bottom of it. So I'm going to put it going down. All the other gears look good. Now to clean it up, just going to use some WD-40 on it. Alright, so there's corrosion on these springs for the battery. So I'm going to take this off as well. I'm going to try to hit these springs down here. That's the one there that's pretty corroded. And while trying to clean it, it broke. That's how corroded it is. The other one's not too bad. See, it just broke off there, pulling on it. Okay, so out of my assorted springs, I've got these possible ones. It's got to go in here. That one or this one. I like this one better. The other one was tapered, so maybe if I close this in a little bit. I think that'll work if I just close it in some more. But now I need to figure out if I can actually solder to this. Okay, first I'm just going to try with the soldering iron. Let's try a little flux on there. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere. Let's try a little more flux on here. And try with a torch. Okay, so now I need to get this spring down into here. You'd think that'd be easier. I believe that will work. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give it the old plastic melt down onto it. This one is. That's how they did it over here, you can see, so. Okay, one of these white ones goes on this side of the battery, goes to the motor. And then this one gets hooked here from the other side. So next in the electronics is the thing that makes the lights flash. So if we go back to the newer one here, you can see right here that there is this little metal tab that as this thing spins, it pushes it up against this terminal to make the connection to turn the lights on. Let's go back to this one, and you can see here is the tab that it gets, that it's going to be touching that metal piece. Here's where the metal piece is screwed on, and you can see that the metal piece has broken off. and corrode it away. I unscrew it here. You can see here is the metal tab, what's left of it, where it snapped right there. So I have to make another one of these. So now what I need to do is test this light bulb in here. Let's see if this even lights up. It does. Still working. Look how far the little switching mechanism is away. So it's has to be pulled up some. Okay, let's see what I can do. It's going to have to be something like that. There we go, that's much better. That's the motor. Oh, but screaming at me. Stop screaming. Come on. Work it out. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. Yeah. Probably do need to go in there and clean the leads on the motor. I'm not going to, but I probably should. It's working. It's flashing. It's turning. We'll let it work itself out. Now it's time to get some of this Sharpie marker off of this thing. I've tried WD-40. I've tried alcohol. Those kind of work. But what I found works the best is just mineral spirits. Seems to do the most work without damaging the plastic. I even got into the front here. Whoever did this, shame on you. Okay, that's good enough. I discovered that the gear on the motor of the working one is actually split as well. So, I guess I'll put one on there too. Maybe this thing's older than I think it is. That'll work. So now it's time to replace this little guy's antennas here. And I'm going to copy one of these, this one. So I'm going to put some clay here in the screw hole so that the silicone doesn't go in as I make the mold. Also take some clay and I'm going to put it in here. Poke it down in there. That'll make the molding easier, and if I want it to go as deep as it was before, I can just drill it out after I cast it. So it's now time to put silicone around this and make the mold. I'm going to mix this silicone pretty hot so it goes off faster. And now I'm going to coat it. Also add in some thickener. Doesn't take much of this stuff. Now that the silicone has cured, I'm going to take Smooth Cast 300Q and mix it together. A fast setting, super fast setting urethane plastic. And the first thing I'm going to do is just start trying to get this silicone wet. Because it's about to go off. There it goes. And now I'm going to do it again. Try to get the spots that I didn't get before. And I've put some petroleum jelly on the robot on the spots, so if in case I spill some and get it on the plastic of the robot, it won't stick. So now should be getting pretty thick, ready to go off. So now I'm going to do it one last time. I have some wax paper here. You can use parchment paper as well, which is what I actually wish I had, but I don't. So wax paper will work just fine. I want to get it wet, then I'm going to put it here and let it go off. Alright, now I'll take it off. So now I have a flat bottom for it to stay upright, and so now I have to get it off. Okay, there's that piece. And now I'll take an X-Acto knife and cut in a zigzag motion. There's the mold. Oh, there it is. Let me show you how to use this thing. So I've given my mold a thorough cleaning. I'll now take my silver powder and dust the inside of this mold, and then the mold gets put into here. See, it probably goes something like that. Then I'll take a string, wrap it around. Now to make it, I'm going to pour in Smooth Cast Onyx Fast. So while that's curing, I want to trim down this piece. So there's a little too much here. Well, let's see what we have. Ah, that looks pretty cool. It'll look just like this older one. Okay, one more. Alright, now add some CA glue. And go ahead and fill in little gaps and make it extra strong. There's one. There's two. Alright, it's time to put this thing back together. Cleaned off all the hair off the wheels. And the rubber, it seems in decent shape. It's not in the best of shape, but it's good enough to work. It's not rotting away, so that's my piece with the new antennas. That gets put in there like that. This slides in at the bottom. Then you have this metal rod that goes through here, and that's where the tires get put on. Then this goes and it slides in, and the 4 screws go back. And there it is. For the record, as I was working on it, I broke a little piece here and I glued it back, and I didn't do a very good job of it, so Well, there you have it, the Horikama Acrobat Bot, or Acrobatic Robot, or something like that. This is the later one that's all plastic, and it has batteries in it, and you can see sometimes it'll do this there and take off and do the bump and go. Alright, so that's what that one looks like. Now here's the refurbished one, the 1970s with the metal gears, brand new little antennas here. There we go. Now, what would you think one of these things cost? Well, I think I paid like, I don't know, $14, $15 for this thing. I got this one, I don't remember, it was like actually $8 or something, time you add in with the other ones that it came with. So what if you had one with the original box that said like the Acrobatic Robot on it and the pictures and everything? Would you pay this price for one? Maybe. Let's say it's in good shape. That is this one here, the original one. That's original box. Well, hey, that's not a bad price, really, as long as it's working and in good shape. Well, what if there was just one like this? No box, no way of knowing what's inside of it, if it's the original one or not. Would you pay this much for it? Yeah, that's insane, and that was
Randy's Robot Refurbished!